Hi, everybody. My name is Sean Plasse. I'm the Northeast Regional Program Manager for Call2Recycle, based in Atlanta. We run the country's largest battery recycling program, and today we're going to talk about Vermont schools and the opportunity to recycle batteries here within the state at no cost. I'm going to start a little bit by exploring battery trends. The Internet of Things are basically devices that are connected to the internet. Right now, there's about 10 billion devices worldwide. Within 5 years, you'll be looking at over 500% increase to 62 billion. So this coincides with a 400% increase in lithium manufacturing capacity, which basically means lithium-ion rechargeable batteries. So this is the trend that we are seeing, where basically everything in your life will be connected to the internet. Here's a quick video. Imagine that you can travel again. That would be a hopeful thing when the virus subsides and you're going through an airport and you don't want to carry your suitcase. This is a portable battery rechargeable suitcase that is next to your phone. So basically, wherever you can go, upstairs or escalators, it can turn corners and spin around and so forth. And this is the future. This is where our world is heading, where everything will be tethered to you, robots, devices, and so forth, connected to the internet with artificial intelligence, and it will be run by batteries. So you leave the airport, you get home, and on the drive home, you're looking for your dog. You pull out your phone, and there's a dog tracking collar on your dog, and it tells you on your phone that your dog is in your neighbor's yard, so you stop and pick up your dog on the way home. You get to the driveway, and your teenager is shooting basketball, but the basketball has a battery in it, and that syncs the basketball to the phone, and the teenager can track how many times they've dribbled, how many shots they've taken, how many miles they've run during their workout. You see that the lawn needs to be mowed, so you send out your robot. This is a little robot that connects to satellite GPS, has artificial intelligence, and it mows your lawn for you, memorizes the whole route, and cuts it whenever you need it. You realize it's dinner time, so you turn on the barbecue, and every person in the family wants a different cook on the steaks. So you set one thermometer to medium, one to medium well, one to well done, and so forth. Every steak gets their own rechargeable thermometer that syncs to your phone, so you know exactly when to take the steaks off of the barbecue. And then your baby starts crying. Your phone indicates that your baby needs to be changed. These diapers actually have little pods in them that have batteries in them, connect to the internet, connect to your phone. They let you know every time your baby needs to have a diaper change. So that is the Internet of Things, and all these devices are going to trickle their way into schools. Kids are going to bring them in, teachers are going to bring them in, they're going to be in labs, they're going to be in computer rooms, in classrooms, and so forth. So Vermont schools need to be aware these devices are coming, and then they need to have a solution on what to do with it. Here's how Vermont school recycling can work. Basically, you're going to take school batteries. These could be batteries used in laptops, tools, exit signs, and so forth. Any batteries that are generated by the school themselves, we can help you recycle. Same thing with staff batteries. A significant amount of Vermonters recycled their batteries in their workplace, at least pre-COVID. But once COVID subsides, that'll be the same trend. It's easy for them. It's easier because they're on their way to work every day than to go to a solid waste district and drop these batteries off. So we really want to help people recycle batteries in their workplace. So staff is going to have laptops, they're going to have tablets, phones, all these batteries and so forth that they would love to be able to drop off at school. Unfortunately, it's not for kids. Due to safety. So some of these batteries like lithium are combustible, they can catch on fire. So we really don't want kids putting these things in their backpack, bringing them to school to recycle. It's better that they recycle those with their parents at solid waste districts and so forth. So we don't want to encourage kids to carry a lot of batteries to school, because if they're not protected properly in their backpack, they could catch on fire. But there's plenty of batteries within the school and from the school staff that we can handle. Some ideas for locations. Basically, you want locations in the school for our collection boxes that aren't accessible to kids. So a custodial office, a principal's office, a teacher's break room, somewhere where there's adults around to supervise who's putting the batteries in there. If a kid does have a battery that needs to be attended to, of course, a custodial staff or somebody could take it from them and put it in the box, but we really want the boxes separated from the kids, somewhere where it's accessible to staff but not to children. How to set up a program? It's really easy. We can have you set up in minutes. Basically, you contact me. I'm the Northeast Regional Program Manager. I manage the Vermont battery recycling program with Vermont Agency of Natural Resources. So we can get you set up really quickly. We create an account in our database. We email you an online 5-minute training video. So whoever's going to be packing the batteries at the school will just watch this video. There's a short quiz, very easy to do. Once that's done, we ship the boxes directly to your school. Then one person at your school, or however many you designate, will pack these boxes with batteries, and I'm going to go over how to do that in just a bit. Once they're packed, you seal them. They're pre-labeled for shipping. They're pre-labeled and prepaid for shipping, so you don't have to do anything. You just seal the box, contact FedEx, UPS, whoever your courier is. They'll take those batteries and ship them to us. And then when they're barcode scanned along the way, it automatically alerts us to send you new boxes. So as soon as you ship those boxes, we'll send you more, and a few days later, you'll have some new boxes to fill. So it's a very easy program to set up, takes a few minutes, and then you're up and running. A little bit on how do you actually recycle batteries. Quick education here. There's 2 types of batteries, which people can get confused about, but it's really easy to remember. Primary batteries mean one and done. You use them once and you toss them. Rechargeable batteries mean you use it more than once. You keep recharging it over and over again. You can remember it by the Latin roots. Prime means one, like number one, like a prime rib steak is the top steak, and means repeat. So you've got primary batteries, you use them once. Those are like your alkaline Duracell Energizer batteries that can't be recharged, and the rechargeable batteries, you'll see them in tools and laptops and so forth. They're used multiple times. So these are the single-use primary batteries that we accept. You've got your alkalines here. You've seen those in flashlights and so forth. And then you've got what's called lithium primary batteries. These are becoming more and more common. You're going to see these in toys and so forth a lot, cameras and things like that. Lithium is a little more dangerous, so you want to handle them. You don't want them to be crushed and so forth. They get a little bit of extra protection when you ship, and I'll get into that in a minute. These are the rechargeable batteries that we offer recycling for: nickel cadmium, lithium ion, nickel metal hydride, small sealed lead acid, nickel zinc. These top batteries you're going to see in laptops and tools and power tools and so forth. Small sealed lead acid you're going to see in your exit signs, in emergency signs, lighting, extra emergency lighting in your schools. Nickel zinc are more like flashlights. They're not as common anymore. But we accept all these batteries, and these are your most common types of batteries you're going to see. Really what you got to know for the rechargeable batteries is that you're going to put one per bag. So the idea is you don't want a rechargeable battery like lithium ion battery contacting another one when they're being shipped. So you don't want them banging together. So Department of Transportation code says put them in a plastic bag or tape them up. So all our boxes come with 50 clear plastic bags. So you put one battery per bag and you're good to go. If you run out of bags, packing tape, just clear packing tape. You can wrap the batteries up and put them in the box and they'll be fine. For these smaller batteries, these are called coin cell batteries. Some people call them button cells if they're a little bit smaller, but we have you make what's called a ravioli. You lay down a strip of packing tape, put your coin cells on it, lay down a second strip. It looks like ravioli pasta. Super easy to do and fairly quick, but these, if they are lithium batteries, you do have to terminally protect them because again, with lithium, if they bump into something, they could spark and then they could combust and then you could have a fire. When you've terminally protected your batteries, you put them into these boxes. These are called recycled boxes. We have a patent on the fire retardant liner in these. So these are Department of Transportation approved. You can drop them with 66 pounds of batteries in them from 4 feet and they won't break. They do have a pop-up display that you can put on a countertop or a table, and then the staff can just drop batteries into the display opening. You can store batteries in them. Basically, the instructions are included with them, so when you open up the box, you'll see the instructions. People will fill them with batteries. Once it's full of batteries, you take those batteries out, you follow the instructions on how to tape them and bag them using these bags, and then you reseal it, ship it. This is examples of combustion that does happen. This is why we really want you to pack them properly. These are lithium-ion batteries that bumped against each other. It looks like tool batteries and caught on fire. These are some smaller batteries. But we've never had a fire breach one of these boxes. And this is why we want you to do battery recycling in your schools, because these batteries are probably there anyway. And if they get thrown in the trash, if they get thrown in a recycling bin, like a blue bin, if they get thrown in a driveway and somebody drives over them, the best thing and safest thing you can do is start a battery recycling program, because then you're collecting the batteries in a place that's safe with flame resistant boxes and shipping them, getting them out of there in the best safe way. So what happens once those boxes are shipped? They usually go through ground transport like FedEx, UPS. They'll go to a warehouse. They'll be shipped again, and then they go to a sorting center. They're sorted by chemistry type. Lithium ion goes to one area, nickel metal hydride goes to another, and so forth. They get shipped to the final processors, who process those specific chemistries, and they basically get turned into their elemental metals. Those metals get sold on the market, just like metals would be sold on the market that came out of a mine. So basically, we are an above ground mining organization. We've got about 16,000 collection sites around the country, some of them schools. There's places like Lowe's, Home Depot, Staples, large retailers. We've got solid waste districts like Chittenden Solid Waste. So we've got 16,000 collection sites that collect all these. All these batteries get turned into metals, and then those metals get sold on the market, and they get turned into new products. Some go into new batteries like lead. Some get it turned into stainless steel, pots, silverware, asphalt for roads, and so forth. Really only the final slag, like maybe 3% of the batteries get turned into asphalt. Most everything else gets turned into this metal products. But the important thing is we're not putting any of these batteries in landfills, domestic or overseas. So none of these end up in a third world country or anything like that. We really run a very environmentally friendly program. A little bit on lithium batteries. Lithium batteries become what's DDR. It's called damaged, defective, recalled lithium batteries. This term applies to the Department of Transportation code. And it only applies to lithium batteries. So basically, if a battery like lithium gets swollen, it gets cracked, it gets crushed and so forth, it's automatically a DDR, damaged, defective, recall lithium battery. That means it has to be handled in a special way. So if you got one of these in school, like a kid's laptop battery started to swell, that requires a special compliant way of shipping it. You need a special permit and so forth. It's different from hazardous waste. So the EPA determines hazardous waste, like a nickel cadmium battery is toxic. You don't want that in the landfill. A lithium battery is not very toxic. The Department of Transportation determines a hazardous material. A lithium battery is a hazardous material, meaning that it's dangerous. So a lithium battery might not be toxic for a landfill, but it is dangerous. So transporting it is the issue. So Department of Transportation really wants to make sure it's transported safely. Here's an example of why. This is a laptop battery, a lithium battery, and the staff is going to push a thumbtack into it. So that is what happens when a lithium battery gets damaged. You can see one thumbtack and it burns very hot, it burns very long. So the Department of Transportation does not want those transported in even one of our boxes. They want you to use what's called a DDR kit. So if you have a damaged battery, you can contact us and we can ship you a DDR kit. You put the battery or device in here. You fill it with this cell block material, which is glass beads that melt to extinguish lithium fires. And then you seal it and ship it FedEx. UPS, same thing, pre-labeled for shipping, hazardous materials, and prepaid. So you just seal it up, ship it, get it out of your school in a nice, safe way. One final thing I want to talk about is high watt-hour batteries. A high watt-hour battery is fairly new in the market, but they're going to get here very quickly. Basically, it's anything above 300 watt-hours. So what does that mean? Well, a watt-hour is volts times amps. So if you look at a battery like this over here, it has 80 on it. That's 80 volts. If you look at it, it's going to say how many amps on it, and we'll say amp hours. So it'll be 80 times 40 amp hours gives you 320 watt hours. So it's really easy to calculate. Just volts times amp hours gives you watt hours. But if it gets 300 above 300 watt hours, it's automatically a hazardous material by Department of Transportation code, which means it needs its own special box, its own special permit to ship it. So if you have kids riding e-bikes to school and they get one of these large batteries that needs to be handled, or you're doing electric landscaping now at your school and you've got lawnmowers that have electric batteries and so forth, when they get above this size, you can't just put them into our boxes. You can't just put these in the trash. These are really serious batteries. So we have a box now, a high watt hour box that you can call us. We can send you a box. You can put these batteries, e-bikes batteries and so forth in there, and we'll ship them for you and recycle them. That's a quick snapshot of how to set up a school program. Again, my name is Sean Plasse, and I manage the Northeast region. That's my email, splasse@call2recycle.org. Please reach out. We can have you set up with your school program in a matter of minutes. It's all free in the state of Vermont, completely covered by the primary battery program and the volunteer rechargeable battery program. So it's free, the boxes are free, it's safe, and it's good for the environment, and it's a great example for your students. Reach out with any questions. Thanks.
Sean, can I actually ask a question?
Yes, please.
If you covered this, and I missed it, I apologize. But I'm sitting here, I'm looking at a AAA battery, and it says ultimate lithium, but it's not a rechargeable battery. So it's a primary battery, but the fact that it's lithium, it should it be handled the same as a rechargeable lithium battery?
Exactly. Yes, it should. So what happened is the manufacturers invested heavily in lithium manufacturing. So they've built these huge manufacturing plants around the world. Because they've got economies of scale, it's greatly reduced the cost of lithium batteries now. So you can make a really affordable battery that lasts a long time compared to, say, an alkaline. And so those are starting to push out the alkaline batteries in some respects. So you're going to see more of those in toys and so forth. But yes, if you were to say put that into the trash and it went through a trash compactor, it would catch on fire and it could set up, a whole pile of trash, and a facility could burn down a facility. So those, when you put those in our boxes, you put them in one of the baggies individually, or you wrap them in packing tape.
Thank you. And I think the advice you also gave me before was if you have a battery and it's not clearly identified as to whether or not it's a lithium containing battery, I believe your recommendation was to tape or bag that also, just out of sort of an abundance of caution. Because from what you were telling me, we are seeing more and more batteries being created and marketed, and they're not necessarily clearly identified as lithium containing batteries.
Yeah, it's frustrating. A lot of batteries are coming in through online sales, sometimes embedded in devices. A lot of those are coming from overseas where the labeling is substandard, or it might not be in English, so it's hard to know their chemistry type. There's also a lot of counterfeit batteries out there now. So when in doubt, we recommend just terminal protection. That means putting it in a baggie or taping it with packing tape. Better to be safe than sorry.
What do you recommend for folks who perhaps have embedded batteries to handle, and it may be hard to get at the battery, yet the battery is technically banned from the trash? Do you have any advice?
That's a great question. So embedded batteries, should never be removed. You saw that thumbtack that punctured it and set it on fire. One of the challenges we're having right now is that there's a lot of hobbyists out there that are pretty skilled technically, and they're taking apart these devices and removing the batteries and putting them into other, remote control cars or whatever their little project is. But one slip of the screwdriver, and if it punctures that pouch, you can have a really serious fire on your hands. So unless it's easily removable, where you just maybe a Phillips head screwdriver and it comes right out, we really don't recommend anybody working on lithium batteries. The best thing to do would be to take that device down to your solid waste district and have them handle it for you. It might qualify for an e-waste program, and if it doesn't, then they can just specially pack it and take it off your hands.
And Sean, just to clarify, I could see where a school could be generating quite a few used, like say AAA and AA batteries. The primary batteries that are non-lithium, the alkaline batteries and such, do you want them, does Call2Recycle want them taped and bagged as well?
Nope, they don't need to be. They're very safe. There's no potential for thermal propagation in those, so they can just be put right into the box without taping or anything like that. And it is unique in Vermont to have this free program. I think that's one thing I just want to make clear, and it's worked really well. Right now, Vermonters recycle the most primary batteries per capita in the country. And that's after about 5 years of this program. So it was unique that it was passed by our legislators, and Vermont Agency of Natural Resources has really pushed it. And so we feel very happy that to be #1 in the country. I live in Burlington, but there's more work to do. We're really capturing, probably 17% of the primary batteries that are on the market. So every school that comes in and all the staff and so forth, you're really helping Vermont keep environmentally friendly, but also helping keep facility staff safe. Because if these batteries get tossed in the trash, it's becoming a real issue around the country that you can have a fire. So there's a safety and environmental component to this that we're trying to get out there. And the last piece is we've got that National Geographic curriculum coming out on battery recycling that we teamed up with National Geographic, and it's STEM certified and all that stuff. So we feel like next year, hopefully when COVID subsides, we can really get in the classrooms, teach some kids about these amazing products and batteries and how to recycle them, and do it all in a safe way and a healthy way. So we're getting there.